Hi everyone, this is Kelly. Thank you for coming to my channel. I haven't been here in a while because I've had a lot of things going on. Back last year, September the 29th, my husband passed away. And so I've been dealing with a lot of grief and trying to figure out how to do the bills and everything. Because all I did was my YouTube channel and I really didn't do that much to start making any money out of it. I just started out and I don't know, there's just so much stuff that was going on. But anyway, a year prior to that, my husband came out to me telling me that he was a transgender female. We had been married at that time. It was going to be our 29th anniversary. Due to all the mental issues and stuff that come along with it, and the acceptance and not acceptance that he didn't get from his family and work and society, basically, he ended up taking his life. He found a job that let him come out, and he really liked it and everything. I mean, he had a job and they let him come out. He'd already been working there for a while, but they sold the company. Well, the new company come in, they let his tier of engineers go, and his was a top tier, so it's him and 4 other guys were let go. Well, with that being said, he was without a job for a little over a month, almost 2 months. We got 2 months behind on our bills. He was not finding work as a female. That was my main concern with him. We had talked about it, and I told him, I was like, you forget that women are not treated like men, and they don't get that much pay. So he ended up going to this job, and he told them that he was a transgender female, and come to find out, one of his bosses, the boss's husband was, and but was not allowed to dress as a female at work due to their reputation. So in order for my husband to get the job, he had to dress as a male. So he had to transfer back from being a female to being a male. He had gotten rid of most of all his male clothes, so he had to put men's clothes back on, which made him sick. I was getting to the point to where I was used to seeing him as a woman, and it was just messing with my mind, the flip-flopping back and forth. And so he was there for about 3 weeks, and they sent him out of town. And while he was out of town, he took his life in the bathroom in the hotel. I had a feeling something was wrong. The minute that I hugged him at the airport, I felt a disconnect from him, and it just didn't feel right. And I watched him go into the airport. He turned to the left and turned to the right and did his face like, oh, okay, he's got to go that way. So he went in, and I instantly felt like something had ripped my heart out. And I started crying, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was like, come on, Kelly, everything's going to be okay. You know, he's been out of town before. I just thought that I was going to be missing him. So, or her. So I drove home, and the whole way home, it did not feel right. It didn't feel right at all. And he told me that he would call me, which he normally does. I'd always get a call from him when he would land. Well, he texted me mid-flight and sent me a picture of the sky and the clouds and stuff from the airplane. And so I gave him time to land, and he called me, and he's like, I just landed. Or he messaged me and said, I just landed. I've got to go to baggage claim and get my stuff, and then I'm going to go get my car. So then he called me as he got his car, and he's like, I can't get into the room until 3 because it was early in the morning flight that he took. He landed around 9 or something like that. And no, yeah, around 9. And so he had to figure out something to do until 3. So I don't know what he did, but he told me that he went to Walmart and bought some water and some crackers and stuff to last him, you know, while he was there. He didn't know how long he was going to be there. He went on a one-way flight. I asked him why. He said because they told him to do that in case he was there longer than Wednesday. I was assuming he was coming home Wednesday. Well, he didn't come home Wednesday, but that day, I got off track. Let me go back. So after I received a call from him and everything, I waited because I've worked in the hotel business before. I know that you can't check in until 3. That gives the maids and stuff time to get everything clean, washed and clean. So around 3 something, I tried to call him to see if he'd checked in, and no answer. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he checked in and maybe he's in the restroom. I'll give him time. So I gave him about 30 minutes, tried to call him back, no answer. I was like, well, maybe he laid across the bed. He didn't sleep very good the night before. Maybe he just laid across the bed and fell asleep. So about 6 something, so it was not feeling right. So about 6 something, I tried to call him back, and I got a really bad feeling. He didn't answer, and I had called so much that it finally just went to his voicemail. Then it didn't go to his voicemail because he was out of room. So around 9:30, I still hadn't heard anything from him. I was like, this is not like him. He normally calls me. I would get 3 calls a day. He would call me when he'd get to work, and he's like, hey, baby, I made it to work safely. I'll call you at lunch. Then he'd call me at lunch. Then he would call me when he was on his way home. That was my cue to start up dinner. So anyway, I didn't get a call. And while I was on the phone talking to him, his mother had clicked in, and he told me to tell her he'd call her back. So I called her at 9:30 just to see if she'd heard from him, and she said, no, he never called me back. And I was wondering why. He normally does. I was like, yeah, something ain't right. I said, Jenny, I'm sorry for using her name and stuff, but I told her, I was like, it's not right. Something is not right. I was like, I just feel it. I felt it from this morning. She's like, well, let's not start stressing and everything. Maybe he just, like you said, maybe he was just tired and he laid down on the bed and fell asleep. I was like, okay, we're going to think that. I was like, if I don't hear from him in the morning, I'm calling his work. She said, okay. So around 4:30, 5 o'clock came, and that's about what time he would wake up. And I tried to call his phone. Still went straight through, nothing. And I automatically assumed something was wrong. I was like, something's happened. It never dawned on me that he took his life, but I thought something was wrong. So I called his work. The person who answered the phone, she's like, we don't check up on our employees. If they don't come, they'll call, and let the people there will call and let us know that the person you sent did not show up. So I called my daughter and told her what the woman said, and she called her back, and she's like, look, my mother has a reason for worrying. If my mom worries, that means that there's something wrong. She's like, can you please call and check before my mom calls and reports him missing? She goes, oh my gosh, that's just stupid. So she called, and she called Sam back, and she's like, they said he hasn't made it there, but it could just be that, he's not going to be there till Tuesday, because he left out on a Sunday, and they said he wasn't supposed to be there till Tuesday. But his text, when I got his phone, said that he was to report there on Monday, just like he told me. So I finally found out which hotel. That's another thing. He didn't leave me his itinerary, which he normally did. So so I didn't know which hotel he was in. I do know he said he was staying at the Crown Plaza, and he was flying into Philadelphia. And so I was looking for the Crown Plaza in Philadelphia. Well, come to find out, it was Pittsburgh this whole time. So I finally called back that evening at 4:35ish. I wanted to get a hold of his work before they closed. And I said, look, I have not heard from my husband since he landed. I was like, this is not like him. He normally calls me at least 3 times a day. I said, because he knows that I worry, and I will call the cops and to do a welfare check. So his boss lady, she got a hold of whoever she got a hold of, and they found out which hotel he was staying in. So she called and everything, and they said, ma'am, we have to have his next of kin, which is his wife. We'll have to call up here and request for us to call the police and do a welfare check. So I had to call the hotel, and I asked them, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, have y'all been to his door or not? Yes. I said, well, let me ask you this. Was there a do not disturb sign on the outside of his door? They said, no, ma'am. I said, well, you need to get the police there. I was like, because every time my husband goes out of town, he always puts do not disturb sign, because he doesn't want maids coming in, because the equipment, he's an engineer, and he has to take a lot of equipment with him. I was like, he doesn't want anybody coming in to take a chance on that equipment coming up missing. So she called the police and she said, I need you at so-and-so, so-and-so to do a welfare check. So it seemed like it took forever. So the cops came and I was in a hurry to find out. So I called back and they're like, well, let me get one of the officers to call you. So they took my name, my number, and I had an officer call me back and he goes, ma'am, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your husband has passed. I'm like, what? He said, yeah. He said, I'm sorry it took us so long, but he had the little slat thing over the door and we had to get a tool to open it, and nobody had the tool here, so they had to send off for a tool. I said, okay. And it's, it's that little flap that goes over to stop people from coming in. And so I said, okay. And I said, can you tell me what happened? And the officer's like, we're not supposed to give out that information. I was like, look, I'm out of state. I was like, it's not like I can just jump up and come down there. I want to know what happened to my husband. And he's like, well, he passed away in the bathroom. And I automatically assumed, because my husband had a bad habit of falling asleep in the bathtub. I was like, okay, well, maybe that explains it. Maybe he wanted to relax in the tub to go to sleep, and he fell asleep in the tub, and maybe he drowned. And they're like, no, ma'am, it had nothing to do with that. They said he executed this plan to the T. They're like, the officer's like, I've been in this for over 15 years, and I've never seen it planned out like this. I was like, what do you mean? The officer's like, I was like, be my eyes, because I'm not there. So the officer said, well, he had everything that we needed laid out on the bed. His ID, his credit card, his receipt for the things that he bought that he needed to take out to do his plan, which was a rope. And I said, in that receipt, was there any water or crackers? They said, no, ma'am. The only thing that was on there was a Dr. Pepper, chicken and biscuit crackers, which was a box of crackers, his favorite stuff, and a rope. I said, a rope. They're like, yes, ma'am, that's how he hung himself. I'm like, oh my God. Now, I've been married to this man for 29 years, and I never, ever would have dreamt of anything like this happening. So I asked him, I was like, what did he look like at the time when y'all found him? And they're like, well, he was dressed in his women attire. He had makeup on, and a rope was on the bathroom door. He used the rope he threw it over the door and onto the knob on the outside of the door, so when it shut, the weight of him falling would keep the door from opening back up. I wish I'd have never known that, because I have had nightmares about this. I had a nightmare. He come to me in one of my dreams and showed me exactly what he did. I don't know if that's because of the police officer telling me that or what. But I asked him, I was like, where was his phone? Was his phone near him? They said no, his phone was cut off in his bag. So that explains why he wouldn't answer his phone. Well, they called his time of death on September the 30th of 2024 at 7:30 that night. But my heart is telling me that it happened on the 29th, because he wrote letters. He took pictures of the letters on his phone, so therefore it was documented by the time. And after he wrote the notes and he did everything that he did, I guess that's when he went and took care of it. And I just wish I would have known, because I would have stopped him from going. I wish I would have known, because I would have went with him. But we never know. You never know when something like that's going to happen. I miss him every day. His kids miss him every day. His grandkids miss him every day. And it's hard when you've spent 30 years with someone. He passed away. They called his time of death on September 30th, 7:30. Our 30th wedding anniversary. Well, first of all, his mother's birthday was a day after that. Then there was Thanksgiving. Our anniversary was in November. So September, October, November. So 2 months after that, spending our anniversary without him being here was hard. It was really hard. Going through the holidays without him is hard. Now it's getting ready to be Valentine's Day, and that's hard. And anyway, that's why I have not been around. I just wanted to let y'all know I'm going to try to start making little shorts the best that I can. I need to figure out something to do. If you got any ideas, let me know on things that I can do to better my videos, to help me be able to make better money on YouTube. I do have like a little haul to show. I just went to Walmart and got a few things for Valentine's Day because I like to decorate jars and stuff when my grandbabies come over. And that's another thing, when they come over, they're always like, where's Pawpaw? They still hasn't registered to them that their Pawpaw's not here, especially Ava, the baby. She's 3, fixing to be 4 on her birthday in May. And he loved that child, and she loved him to death. And he's not even here anymore. And it's hard. She asked me, I had her yesterday while her mom took her siblings to the dentist, and she's like, where's Pawpaw? I was like, baby, you know where Pawpaw is. She goes, in the sky. I'm like, he's in heaven, honey. She goes, I miss him. I said, I know, honey, we all miss him. And I know you miss him, and you'll always miss him. And it's just sad because you just want to hug her and make it all better, and you can't because she's hurting. She's 3, but she's smart. But anyway, let me turn this around. I'm going to show you what I got at Walmart. Thank you for allowing me to speak about what happened, and I'll be getting on here a lot more often. Anyway, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what I got. Okay, so Bridgeton, sorry, had their creamer and sugar set, Valentine set, and I got it. I thought that was just so cute, and that's cute for spring as well. Then I got for someone, hold on 1 second, sorry, I have to sit it down. It's stuck to the thing. I got one of these. It's the shape of true love Reese cups. I got that. I got some of the kisses, Valentine kisses. And then I got some more of the Hershey hugs. Let me flip that around so you can see it better. Those, because I like to put stuff in the jars and put them over there on the cocoa bar. Then I got these. I've never tried these, and I want to try them. It says the chocolate dipper strawberry kisses. Ooh, that looks really good. So then I got 2 packs of gum, because when I'm stressed I like to chew gum. I used to smoke a long time ago, but I quit smoking like 21 years ago. But I still have to have my gum every once in a while when I start stressing. Alright, then, hold on 1 second. Let me flip. So, I have to open up this bag. Let me cut it. And I tied it in a knot. And I needed some more toothpaste and toothbrushes. Now, I can't hold on any. Okay, let me flip it. I got these, which is still a good buy. 6 for $1.97, I think is what it was. And then I got this is a 3-pack. And there was a really good deal on it as well, which that's some good toothpaste. That's what my dentist recommends. And I needed some, I've never tried this before, but I needed some more hand sanitizer, and it's the berries and white tea. And so I got that. And then, of course, I couldn't pass this up. The refill, hand soap refills. This is for the bathrooms. This is for in here in the sink at the kitchen, because that's where I wash my hands the most at, because I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. But anyway, I got this, the rainwater. It smells divine. It's so good. So then, that's that. And then I stopped by on the way home because I didn't get a chance. Me and my daughter, we went to the Waffle House. they're not sponsoring this, but we went to the Waffle House. I love eating there, and I forget every time we go. It tears my stomach up. Hers too. So we ended up having to get home safe and fast. But anyway, I got these because that's what I like to snack on. Trying to not eat as much. Oh, I can't show that. That's a card that I got for somebody. I found this for $1. Yeah. And it's a little heart spoon. And I thought that would be really cute stuck in my little things, which I'm going to take the orange out and just do all black, put the pink in there. Then I come across this because when I go to Scooters, they don't have anything, and that is so cold to hold. So I got this to take to put my drinks in. Then I couldn't pass up some M&Ms. And I didn't get any heart candy at Walmart, so I ended up getting these, and they're really good. And it's not too bad for a price, I guess, $3.75. So I got that. And I got this for $1 to stand up on the little tier tray over there by the coffee and cocoa bar. So after Valentine's Day, then I normally break down the coffee bar and put the cocoa stuff away. And so I usually drag that out. That's usually for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. And this was cute. You know, it's got little stuff inside like glue, and you just put the sparkles and stuff in there, which is so cute. You could probably make that if you wanted to. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the haul that I got today. And I went to Walmart the other day, and if I'd have thought about it, I'd have showed you. But I had so much stuff. Spent like $400. I hadn't been to the grocery store in 4 months since he passed away, and I had been eating on stuff. I'd just been snacking anyway. I lost a little over 20 pounds when he passed. But it seems like I'm starting to eat now, and I don't like that. I was actually excited because I'd lost weight, because I needed to. You know, I am on this weight journey, and I don't know if any of you are here and been keeping up with it, but it's really hard, especially when you're over a certain age. But I have a birthday coming up. It's going to be Sunday, February 2nd. I'm going to be 57. And that's another thing I'm going to have to celebrate without him. But I know he's here in spirit. He's not here in body, but he's here in spirit. And I hope he knows that we loved him, and we still do. Anyway, that's going to be it today. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Have a good week, the rest of your week and weekend, and happy Valentine's Day.